that very often we think that life is full of suffering and pain and unbearable moments, but when we look back at them with the benefit of hindsight, we're like, what was I worrying about?
When things aren't going well, like you're playing poker, you're losing, you're taking it bad, you're suffering, you're like, this is miserable, I'm never gonna get through it, I'm never gonna get out of this downswing. But then you keep playing, you get better, you keep working on your game, you're picking your spots, and you do get out of it. Things do get better. You do continue to live. It's not the end of the world. Then you look back on it a year later, 2 years later, 5 years later, and you don't even remember it. You don't remember that downswing, that during, when you were going through it, you were feeling so much pain, so much suffering. And so I think like being able to zoom out and put a little bit of perspective around those events helps you realize that, hey, when you're suffering the next time, it's like, okay, you're gonna get through it. It's not the end of the world. Like you're still living, you're still breathing, you're still healthy, you have friends around you, you have loved ones close. Like zooming out and just kind of recognizing that like, hey, what you're going through, there's bigger problems in the world. Your suffering isn't like that big of a deal. Just like get through it, live, get better.
I mean, it's one thing to know and understand that on an intellectual basis, but it's completely a different subject when you're in the heat of the moment. That part of you, that real competitive streak where like, you know, you feel like bursting into tears or whatever when you've lost. How do you...
I wouldn't go that far.
That's me. I just shared a bit of myself there. But you say like it's a physical pain. I mean, how do you view that? Do you view that as an impediment? Do you view that as a strength, weakness? Is it a bit of both? I mean,
yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, right? So it's an impediment, I think, to feel that suffering and to let it hurt so bad, because it's just like it doesn't seem good to me. But like it's also a driving force, right? Like I don't want to feel that pain ever again. And so maybe like people that don't feel that pain don't have such a desire to not feel it again in the future, and so they have less incentive to work hard to improve. But like that. I think a lot of people that just really, really hate to lose tend to get quite good at things because they just never want to feel that way. And so they constantly get better, they constantly work. And I think Jason's kind of similar. Like he really hates to lose, super competitive guy. And like I think that's really important for success in something like poker as well. Just like the constant desire to get better. And for me, a lot of it is just pain avoidance. Like I don't want to suffer in loss, and so I'm going to work really hard to win.
I like that. And sticking with Stoic philosophy, you know, it's very much about focusing on things in the moment and kind of like not drifting away into the future and drifting away into the back. When it comes to purpose and the question of, you know, what we're doing with our life, I know that's very fluid, but what are you focusing on right now in your life?
Well, for the last few months, I've been focusing a lot on poker. I found short deck and sort of became fascinated with the game. I haven't learned a new poker game in years, and so it's been really fun just kind of like learning how this new game works and playing a lot and then just trying to understand it and get better at it. So I'm traveling a little bit to play some of these poker tournaments, the Triton events, playing a little bit online, and just trying to be around people in the poker world once again. And it's been just like a really, really fun process, kind of getting back into it and like coming out and seeing all the old faces and just getting back in the mix.